Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Jack Ashton Racing and Coaching and the Novice Racer McLaren GT3 World Tour. My name is Olaf, aka Bob's Racing. I'll be your commentator for tonight, and I'll be joined by Jim Cunningham. Jim, good evening, or should I say good morning?
Yes, it is very much a good morning where I'm from in the world. Sun's not even up yet, so but it's good to be here, man. Yes, and we've got the Ferris wheel lit up at Daytona. I am super excited for this race. I love Daytona, and as it turns out, I actually love the McLaren. I would have liked driving in this series.
Well, unfortunately, you're stuck in the booth here with me and looking at the dark sky outside and the dark sky inside in the Daytona night race, round 3 of our 6-round championship. We're almost halfway through, and the schedule for today is 2 races, followed by, of course, the final standings at the end. But first, we have a qualifying. The car should be going around on the track right about now, as we'll be covering these final moments of the qualifying. Just over 5.5 kilometers of the track, 19 degrees Celsius in temperature. Country, the US of A, of course, the Daytona Beach. And here's the qualifying runs that are happening at the moment. You can see them in the background. Johansson setting some purple sectors. Cars, of course, being the McLaren GT3, as it is, of course, the McLaren GT3 Championship. That's something that one of the cars that I really enjoy personally to drive and to watch as well. They're beautiful little cheese wedges, and of course the Daytona circuit being a fantastic track to drive on. The cars all being, the drivers being separated on class. Johansson currently handing that pole position to himself with a 144.0, currently the only one hitting the 44 zeros, as the standings will, of course, be shuffled. We won't sort them all by class on starting position. No. We'll have them all mixed from the get-go. And Jim, I've got to ask real quick, what is going to be your prediction for pole position for today?
Oh, unfortunately, I don't know these guys, and it's been a while since I've done one of these races. I haven't done one since I switched over to the McLaren. So I would be just basically throwing a dart at a dartboard at this point to try to pick someone. So well,
that's allowed too. That's allowed, definitely.
Well, I'm gonna go with the guy who's at a 144.0 then. And say he's probably going to stay on top, because that's a pretty quick time. But I am caught off by the fact that there are, as we're basically drawing to an end here, there are a lot of guys, within a second of the leader. Very tight qualifying.
Yeah, we've got some very good competition, and we have seen that for the past 2 rounds as well. If we can flick over to our total standings, our combined standings, you'll see that the Pro-Ams and the AMs are also fighting along with the Pros, because the slowest Pro, Mr. Knox right now, currently sitting in 18th place with a 48.6, and he's got all of the AMs currently present right ahead of him. Wybrow, Wolf, and Bartlett, 46.9, 47.0, and 47.1, all very close to each other as well. And the Pros and the Pro-Ams also squabbling a little bit out in front. We've got Johansson, Jack Ashton, Patero, Lessa, Taylor, Medicals, Castleman, Weston, and Van Zevicius. Kinney into the top 10. That's where the 45.5s end. Second half, of course, being a little bit more spread out, but we have everyone quite close. The top 6 within a second. Able to driving below the apron here as well. As Chetre goes up to 14th place. Chetre holding one of the Pro-Am cars and shuffling into the Pro-Am scene as well. So the pole positions you can see on the top. The fastest times currently being held by the Pros, 144.0, the Pro-Ams are 144.8, and the AMs are 146.9, as in the hands of Wybrow. And Timothy has done some good racing before. If I can quickly look at the standings from the previous round, he's scored quite a few good points. Finished P5 in his first race of the season, and in race 2 finished in 7th. Race 3 finished in 6th, and then in 4th, almost skimming the podium positions. So he's on the AM class, one of the faster drivers in there. So 20 drivers currently lining up for this qualifying session, trying to go in the end, final few seconds. Everyone should have their qualifying time locked in. The flag will drop, and that will mark the end of the session. Johansson holding on to that pole position, and we'll start in first place. Then, of course, we'll have race number 1, and that followed by a reverse grid race number 2. So if you finish first in race number 1, you'll, of course, start last in race number 2. And that's going to give some exciting action, as this is your grid for race number 1. Johansson in first, Ashton lining up alongside on the front row. Tommy Patero wanting to hop up in the standings as well, as he missed the first round, but did an amazing job in round number 2 at Le Mans. Lessa, one of the unfortunate drivers from last weekend out, currently in the second row, trying to retake some of those points, still holding on to first place overall. We have Josh Taylor, Medicos, Castleman, Weston, Vencevicius, Kinney, Theophanopoulos. I practiced that beforehand. Sadly, that went away from me in the moment. Theophanopoulos, Brereton in 12th place. And further down, we have Andy Pratt, Chechere, Green, Wybrow, Wolf, Bartlett, Ian Knox, Werner, Webb, Enquist, Miller, and Orchin in 24th. I believe that should be the entire grid.
Yeah, I believe that was it.
I don't believe. That's it. That's the entire grid. 24 cars lining up here for Daytona. It's going to be race number 1, start, pole position for Johansson. He will lead the entire grid.
Is this a standing start for us?
This will be a standing start, which is something that we saw some issues with at Imola in race 1. In Le Mans, they perfected it a little bit more, but these cars will have a standing start, which is some empty spots on the grid as well. Will those be pit lane starts? Because that might be an unfortunate start to your race number 1, having to slot in the back of the grid. But a standing start, of course, with these GT3s, not something that you usually see. It's going to be a difficult one for the drivers to manage. They've done it a few times now. 4 practices they've had so far before this race. 2 at Imola and 2 at Le Mans. As the red lights are on and quickly off, as we do have some of the drivers very badly off the line. I do believe that is Vencevicius off the line pretty quickly, gaining about 4 places. Johansson and Ashton currently battling out for P number 1 into the first turn. Johansson staying ahead, Ashton following very closely, and Lessa gaining a place on Tommy Patero as well. I believe Chechere didn't get off the line very quickly, neither did Medicos, dropped down 3 places from the start, as Johansson holds on to the lead as they're going through the inside of the Daytona circuit. And let's see who can make their way out. Kinney already having a black flag from a penalty. That must be from contact. Theophanopoulos dropping down 9 places as well. The lowest pro at the moment. Jack Ashton following very, very closely through the tight turns, the hairpin of the inside line as we're heading out to the outer loop of the Daytona track. And Johansson leading the race from P1 on the grid and P1 into turn 1. Now holding on very tightly to that lead of the race. The top 3 quite close, everyone slotting into their spots now. Very close battle here for 6th as well, as Castleman is trying to take away a place from Taylor. That slipstream quite strong here on the outer loop, going into the bus stop chicane. It's going to be a look on the inside. Will it be ascend? Will it be brave enough on the brakes? That is the job done quite quickly there from Castleman. Very nice job done. And Taylor essentially leaving the door open and letting him go. Medicos, the next one to follow Taylor through. Will have a little bit more space as Webb. He's got a slow down to his name. He's got back a little bit further as Patero, trying to take away the space that he lost from Lessa. Lessa being our pro championship leader at the moment. And Patero showing up quite strongly as he's trying to go the up and under. The inside line being taken by Patero as he gains the position. Doesn't get the car stopped in time though. Washes out very wide. But so does Lessa, so that is a good job from Patero as he takes away that 3rd position as we're entering the 2nd lap of the race. Lap times should be about 1 minute 46s. And that means we'll have more than 10 laps, currently lap 2. Lessa now having to look at the rear of Tommy Patero's car, who didn't race in Imola, but now has gone up to the grid, up to the challenge for Le Mans, and dropping down some very, very good results. Wants to get a win to his name and adding that one to the tally. 4th today as Castleman has already got target number 2 in his sight. But Zaficius is the one to be losing that position. And it looks like Johansson is dropping back the order, and there he is, sideways. On the apron, below the apron even, trying to get back onto the track, and something must have happened to Johansson to also get that slowdown. She immediately gets removed, as he is not very quick. At the moment, Medic also getting past as well. Burton looking on the outside, as he has more speed going out of this loop, out of the turn, into the bus stop. Maybe Green even has a look. It will have the overspeed and the inside line. Will also get that position. But something happened to Johansson on that left-hander.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he's lost the car on his own.
I've got us a replay here. Well, of course, I'm famous for my slow-mo replay.
That's the left-hander touching the curb. And this all looks fine. And there he just loses it on the exit. And this is something we saw at Le Mans. Something we saw at Imola already. As this event, this championship, everyone has fixed setups. So everyone's driving with the exact same lineup on the car. And that's an important bit of information for the drivers as well. And Johansson might be one of those drivers that really like their downforce, that really want to step on the gas as soon as possible and as hard as possible. Now just losing the rear from the lack of downforce, or it's simply just a little bit of dust or a little bit of instability being kicked up from getting over the curbs.
While we were looking at that, it looks like Jack Ashton passed Patero somewhere. I'm going to try to find us a replay of that pass if I can.
I believe Ashton was already in second place.
Yeah,
Patero was fighting with Lessa, so that means Ashton just inherited P1 from Johansson going down, and Ian Knox being the first driver into the pits. Well, down the order.
He just had an incident right here. Let's take a look real quick at that.
So this is over the start-finish line. Going into the inside. See some cars. He's just gone very, very wide.
That's interesting. And then Wybrow has had a couple of incidents already. This was the first one on lap 1. Okay.
That's gonna, looks like a tap to the car in front.
Yeah, and then there was, of course, the incident right in front of him, which was Orchin. No? Yeah, that was Orchin going off over there. All right, and then Wybrow ended up in the pits, and when he came out of the pits, shows another incident.
And that looks to be the exact same spot that Johansson got off, so...
Oh, nice save. What's interesting is these cars seem very loose for a fixed setup. They are really rotating around on these guys. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, that's something that we've seen over and over again in these races. Werner dropping down the order as well. We do have Kinney with a penalty, as he's already in last place from class. He's in the pits, and he should be serving that right now.
That black flag, that was it Kinney that had that black flag right after the start of the race? I know there was one up there. I believe whoever that was that got that black flag got it for jumping the start. I think they passed on the wrong side before the line.
That's an interesting one. Jumping a start doesn't really happen that often, and standing starts usually.
Sometimes with when that the guy got off the line really slow there, and some people went down and to the left of him to pass him. I think that could have been what caused that.
So you mean an overtake below the apron would have caused him to get a penalty?
Actually, an overtake to the left-hand side before the line is typically a penalty. If you pass to the right-hand side, which is the side by the wall, it's then it doesn't count as a penalty. So that's I think that's a Daytona track rule. And by the way, we were looking here at the Le Mans chicane, or the bus stop, or just several different things it's been called. I think its official name now is the Le Mans chicane. This is our first look, at least for me, with the broadcasting, that we have no grass. At the last update, they redid and showed Daytona in its current state, which is no grass in the chicane anymore in the middle.
And that's, of course, an interesting one, as we do have Theophanopoulos getting past and overtaking one of the drivers. I believe that is currently down in 15th. That should be Bartlett. That's currently getting overtaken as well.
Or
by
Weston is in the orange car there, yeah, and then Bartlett's behind them.
Yeah, and Weston also getting the overtake done as well. Just trying to get those positions up.
We've had a few incidents so far. I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it's a track that sometimes just goes very tightly, and sometimes the drivers just spin out on their own. We're approaching the corner, the long left-hander. That we currently see a little fight here, and that is going to be for 4th place, I believe. That's Taylor.
5th and 6th, I believe. Yeah, 5th and 6th.
5th and 6th. That means we have is that Johansson, who's trying to retake that position from Vencevicius. Does so into the bus stop, and here it is with all the concrete at hand. And there's a car sideways. And is that Castleman that's dropping back? I don't think it is. That looks to be, I think, Orchin.
Well, Orchin had an incident, but Orchin's in a different car than that, right? Yeah. No, this is Orchin here
Orchin's,
going into turn 1. Uh-oh, you can see this coming already. Oh,
yep, there's the slide. The long left-hander is not really one of the happy places for the drivers. Maybe the rear anti-roll bars being set up not in the way that they like.
So I believe that was going to be Castleman that went around, right? Oh! Now that...
Unsettled by the curbs.
Yeah, well, they've changed these curbs. That was something else I was going to mention. When they redid the grass area, got rid of the grass, they changed the curbs, and the curbs are much more violent going through there now. I have not had a chance to drive it personally since the change, but everything that I've seen when people were reviewing the new track layout, they were saying that the curbs were much more violent through there, and they just really threw the car around. It's hard to take as much curb as you used to here.
Yeah, we saw the car getting unsettled, trying to get a little bit of an overcorrection there from Castleman. That's going to send him down the order, and that should grant him position. I believe that's currently in 10th place. He's supposed to be 9th, actually. That's there you have him. Major Castleman currently on the chase. He's driving behind Nick Green in the Pro-Ams, currently in 8th position. It's going to be a big slipstream going into the bus stop chicane. Small look there on the side of Green's car. Castleman deciding not to go for it. And he knows the bus stop is coming. He knows he made a mistake there before, flashing the lights indicating I want to get past it. Patero and Johansson both getting a slowdown in 2nd and 3rd place. That's something they'll have to resolve, or else they'll get something of a penalty. Patero a little bit on the wide hand side of turn number 1 here.
Yeah, luckily they're coming into the infield, so it's kind of easy to... It's a lot easier to get rid of that penalty slowdown in here than it is, obviously, if you're just coming out onto the big track. So
yeah, you don't want to lift off on the outer loop. That's going to be a sentence to be a sitting duck.
Oh yeah, you're dead if you do that. You lose so much time to the field there.
Castleman not getting past Green, still fighting. They're trading places.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to that.
We have that was a car sideways as well. That might be Brereton, as Castleman does go past here and get the position away from Green and joining back the pros in the standings. So he's gonna go towards the hairpin now and chase the cars up ahead. Green up 6 places from where he started. Let's have a look to join the pros, of course. The drivers can swap between the classes at the discretion of the host, and that is a car sideways as well. That's Taylor, who's dropping like a rock through the standings as well.
Yep, he's
trying to get back onto the track to see what happened to Taylor. It's the same corner that we saw Johansson lose it in. Orchin as well, I think. Might be the same turn.
That's shocking there. I mean, I can see how your car can get loose there, as you're transitioning out of the infield, but it seems like a lot of cars are going around there. Like, I don't know, it's interesting. You don't typically see that many people spin there,
And the problem with that is then if you do spin around there, you get the lack of speed on the entire straight. You see how long the run is from that left-hander onto the bus stop chicane. That's the point where you're going to lose all the speed, and you'll be on a lower speed going into the chicane as well. You'll lose some sense of your braking markers. Chechere is currently under attack, and that's Weston. That's contact on the straight. And Chechere going backwards, making it a spin, and then taking out another driver.
No.
That's big contact. That's two cars colliding. Chetre trying to get back. Now on the grass, being parked. That might have lost the wheel. That's a meatball flag. And out of the race for Chetre. Unfortunately, not making it to the finish line as Taylor. Getting back after that spin, trying to fight his way through. And I believe that is Werner. It's going a little bit deep into the hairpin. That's the open under. They're going side by side, but a long way around. Gives him a little bit more speed. And here we have that treacherous left-hander. Werner and Taylor both know. Taylor more than anything. They're going to be approaching after this second hairpin. He's trying to do the same move. But Werner knows that appears to be a small tap to the rear of Werner's car. And Taylor not able to stop the car in time. Here, going onto the left-hander. And a little bit of a bigger gap. And I believe that's Weston that Chetre hit, who's also into the pits now. Either that or Webb.
Yeah,
both
Weston,
into the box as well.
Weston is there. He had a, I believe he had a, no, Chetre is the one that had the meatball. That's gone now, though. So Weston had an incident. Let's see if this is the, this is what sent him to the pits, I believe.
And this looks to be turn number 1. And again,
is he gonna get hit?
Looks to be fine for now.
Yeah, but he decided to tow, I guess, instead of trying to 10-point turn it through there. Although you do have a lot of room through there to turn the car around.
Yeah, there should be enough gap on the racetrack as well in between drivers to be able to make that turn as well. Yeah. And he'll have to wait for 3 years for a gap. So I'm sure why he decided to go for the tow rather than make it all the way out.
Yeah,
that does mean that he's going to be locked into the pits for a little bit. But Chetre is back out again. Car all repaired, seemingly. Appears to be on the track.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately in 21st place, but back out there at least. Let's see, we got a couple of little battles going on. Let's jump up here to this one. We haven't featured Andy Pratt yet. And behind him is Martin Miller is pressing him pretty hard here.
Just trying to shuffle his way through the order as well. Miller being the lead of the AM class and is fighting now with the Pro-Ams. That's what I said before. I was trying to mention before we saw a mega incident. You can change between classes at the discretion of the organizers. If you do consistently produce good results, as we see Miller doing a little bit of a bump draft to Pratt as he's following them through the chicane. As you get consistent results, the organizers might slot you into a different class higher or a class lower, depending on if it's either a high or a low consistent result. We see 3 wide into the bus stop. Who's going to come out in first there? Bartlett in the rear. And I believe that might be
Werner in front of him.
Who's that up ahead?
That's Werner. It looks like Bartlett had a little incident here. He was ahead of these guys, and if I'm not mistaken, and I think something happened. No, not here, huh? Yep. I'll tell you what, we've got some cars going around right there.
I was going to say, guess where it happened, but there's only 2 spots where it can, turn 1 and the turn 1 to the outer loop again. After finishing, it's going either into the infield or out of the infield. It's definitely a very tricky place to be. Werner able to pick up a space.
What do we got for a track temperature out there? Only 19 degrees Celsius. I mean, that's not hot at all. So it shouldn't be that. It seems to be
quite normal temperatures, I'd say. I mean, it's Daytona, it's night, so it's a little bit lower as Werner here gives up the position to the car in 13th place as Bartlett going on through. Second place in the amateur class, but 19 degrees Celsius, that's quite a normal temperature. That's a nice little t-shirts and almost shorts weather. So it's not too hot, not too cold either. So drivers, I think it's just setup related. I think it might be either the downforce package not suiting all the drivers or just something in the mechanical setup range in the suspension that's just not fitting to what the drivers are used to. Big jumps there over those new improved raised curbs that you were mentioned before as well. Stephanopoulos loses a place now again.
It cost him too. Look, Nick Green runs right on by him here because of that. Watch, he catches that massive curve there, and it really upsets the car. And here comes Green just zipping right on around him. Then he forced to catch another curve, which is going to upset his car coming down the straightaway. He's going to lose massive time down the straight now.
And that was from a long way back as well, so you can see those curves being really, really punishing going into the bus stop, into the chicane. Theophanopoulos really, really finding that out the hard way. So if your entry is a bit too wide, go over, go too deep, and then of course you have to slow down even more. And then again, like you mentioned, if you get out of the chicane, it's another long run into turn one, just full gas, full throttle, you lose all that speed.
Let's go up here and see where our leaders are. Of course, Jack is, but he shows, because he's not categorized. So, yeah, so I'm trying to think. I think we're going to get one more lap, it looks like. That's it. So he takes the checker. It should be the white flag lap. Yes.
Yes, that will be. After he crosses the line now, we'll be starting the final lap. So Ashton leading the race now. Unsure what happened to Patero, who's now in 5th place. So he's dropped it down some positions, still fighting with Johansson and Vencevicius.
Looks like he ran a little off track. Let's take a look at that. Well, that's probably not the best camera angle for that.
Oh, there we have him. Turn one once again.
Oh, hold on to it. Okay, all right.
Let's get it the right way around again, but that is, of course,
that's a big
few
hit,
positions
though.
lost.
And
see Johansson right now in the yellow car.
It could be a few more because that nose is pretty crumpled up there. So that could end up costing him a couple more spots before this is over with. He's dropped down.
Johansson is now trying to get back up to the podium as he's in 3rd place overall, within a few tenths of Vencevicius, and that's another car around. Don't think that was 4th position, but Johansson trying to get one on this final lap. So making their way in the infield. Big defense there being thrown as they're passing. I think that's Orchin, the back marker in the middle of all of this. But Johansson very, very close.
Yeah, and he's certainly not making it easy for him to get around him. Not that he's not obligated to do that, but last lap of the race and all those guys were relatively close to each other. So I have a question for you, being this is my first week back, although I think I'm probably going to finish out the rest of the year here with you. But so Jack, he doesn't count in the overall results if he wins, is that right? Or how does that work?
I believe he's part of the pros, but I'm unsure. I'm unsure. It might have just been gone wrong in the classifications in the organization part.
That's what I was getting at.
He should be in the pros for sure.
I can fix that then. So
he's classified in the official standings. He's classified in the pros, as he does, I think, take the victory here. It shows Lessa being in 1st place, but I don't think it's Lessa in 1st place. It is Jack Ashton taking that 1st place, Lessa 2nd. Vencevicius holding on to 3rd place by the skin of his teeth. Absolutely close work there with Johansson being in 4th place there. Medicals getting the victory in the Pro-Ams, stalling in behind. And we have Miller being our winner in the AM class.
You got the Pro-Am winner was 6th overall, and the AM winner was 7th overall. That's pretty impressive. Those guys are pretty fast.
We've seen some impressive performances from the amateur drivers, so I would not classify any of them as amateurs at this point. We've seen, I believe it was Miller now, and I think we've seen Orchin do a lot of good stuff as well. A lot of them actually doing quite well in terms of the in relation to the pros and the Pro-Ams. Miller, of course, 7th overall, and he's ahead of most of the Pro-Ams. He's only behind one of them. And he's even behind 4 pros and ahead of 5 pros, with Knox not finishing and being a few laps down on the race lead, and Webb being, I think, 1 full lap down as well. So Miller finishing on the lead lap. That's a fantastic job.
All right, real quick here. Let's hit these results just real quick because we got a grid coming up as well.
So Ashton taking the victory in race number 1, 5 seconds behind Lessa in second place. Vanzovicius getting that podium place for the pros. Medicals, Pratt and Green have the podium for the Pro-Ams. Miller, Bartlett and Enquist for the AMs. As we do have everyone in these top 18 on the lead lap.
All right.
As the drivers are having a little 5-minute warm-up session.
Okay, well, we're good then.
To get their to get their groove back, as we'll have a reverse grid order, meaning that Ashton will start last place.
That's gonna be fun
in race number 2.
Watch those fast guys work their way up through the field here.
It's always a joy. You see some of those fast drivers like Knox being knocked out earlier and having an incident and starting first place now, I believe, as he finished last in the classifications, meaning that Knox will have a grand old time trying to make his way up the order in race number 1. But unfortunately, being a few laps down, he'll get that pole position for race number 2 and another try at redemption. And that's a few things that we saw earlier on in the season. I believe that was in race number 1 for Imola. We had a finishing position for Castleman being 24th as he started in 6th. And later on, being in 24th for race number 1, he had to start pole position for race number 2, held it, and got the victory. So that's something that the pros definitely can do. Is if they've had an unlucky race number 1, they'll be automatically sorted to the top of the grid for race number 2, and that gives them a very, very good chance to get a lot of points on the board.
So we'll take a look at the schedule here in just a second. In fact, well, let's pull that up real quick. In fact, cover that real quick. So there you go.
Yeah, there you have it. The schedule for this championship. Imola and Le Mans already done, currently at Daytona. Next week we'll have next week we'll have Bathurst, and then after that we have a Brands Hatch rain race. That's going to be an interesting one. The Grand Prix layout as well, and then we have Suzuka in a night race as well at the 19th of October. Then the season finale at the Algarve circuit on the 26th of October. So we've had 31st of August. 2 weeks in between to the 14th of September for round 2, and now it's just every week banging it until Bathurst, then a 1 week break until we go for the final 3 races, Brands Hatch, Suzuka, and the Algarve circuit. And as it states, we have a fixed setup for all the drivers. There we go. It just disappeared for a second. Fixed setup for the McLaren 720S. It's production stuff. That happens. So the fixed setup, everyone drives with the exact same setup. It does show pro and amateur class, but because of the manic amount of signups that we've had, we had to create a pro-am class in the middle as well, which was proper to be filled. Few minutes warm up in between race 1 and race number 2. Qualifying 2 flying laps, of course. You get 2 tries to get your lap in, and then race 2 a full reverse grid, and another 20 minutes of action that's going to start in just a few minutes time. I believe the cars are on the track for their warm-up, trying to get their... I'm trying to see, maybe go over these curbs once more on a different line, maybe feel where the grip is or where they can bounce it over the curbs and where they cannot, because I feel like some drivers have found the limits already on race number 1.
Yeah, they found them in a couple spots out there. So what's your opinion on the new Le Mans chicane? What do you think about the way they've redesigned it?
Well, I always like it when drivers get punished more for mistakes, and I think the chicane, I think a chicane is definitely a skillful part of the track. They should definitely keep adding chicanes to more tracks. Oh, that's a big slide there. Fortunately, it's still warm up, and we're allowed to entertain these slides.
When he went flying in there, the first thing I thought was, man, that's an interesting line he's taking. Maybe I take that wrong right up till he spun.
Yeah, that's what I always have with these drivers. I'm looking at them, I'm like, that's pretty quick, no? And then they slam it into the wall because they just go a little bit over the limits. But I like chicanes. I don't like it when the chicanes can be taken lightly. I feel like the Nürburgring final chicane is one that you can. The left-hander is a little bit dangerous, but the right-hander you can just screech it over. The left-hand tire is just barely crossing, barely staying on the track, almost going over the line, and you can absolutely send it over it. And those chicanes are fun to drive, but it's just a send. That's all it is. It's basically a small send to the left, and then it's straight. It's not really a chicane. It's more like one corner.
I mean, that can be said for Watkins Glen as well. You know, to some degree, that's a chicane that you can pretty much hammer as well, kind of like that. You know,
exactly. So that's, I think, what the feeling was for the old chicane here, and the new one is just a little bit more dangerous, as Knox will be finding out as the first driver on the grid for race number 2. Webb in second place, lining up on that front row. Weston and Chetre. Of course, Chetre with that incident, big incident in race number 1. Wybrow Orchin on row 3, then followed by Wolf, Enquist, Werner, Kinney, Taylor, and Bartlett for our top 12. If you scroll further down, we get Briarton, Green, Theophanopoulos, Pratt, Castleman, Miller, Medicos, Patero, Johansson, Vansovicius, Lessa, and Jack Ashton. Ashton, race winner 1, will be starting from P24, last on the grid for race number 2. And this time I only struggled with Ashton because apparently the SHT combination is very difficult if you're a Dutchman. The lights are going on and off very quickly as well. Knocks away very, very quickly, but a few stalls on the track. There's some more overtakes under the apron and on the inside happening as well. So I feel like those are some more penalties to be had. And it looks like Knox is away quite well. That's of course always a good thing if your leader is all the way out in front. And Weston gaining a place there. Wybrow down. Webb in second place, didn't get off the line very quickly, so he's currently down in P9. So that's an unfortunate start for our front row runners, currently fighting with a few laps there, as Johansson and Castleman are also struggling. And Johansson's up 11 places actually. Ashton now up to 14th, as we have Werner out of the race already. Kinney down 13 places. Theophanopoulos also not getting off the line very quickly. That's a big incident, and that appears to be Andy Pratt, I think, going off the track. Patero's also off, so lots of incidents already happening on lap number 1.
Yeah, let's see. Let's look at what happens. Patero.
They're currently in 21st. Finished, of course, inside the top 10, so we'll be starting in the bottom 10, and that's a small loss. He had it corrected, and then that was a sideways run for Patero. Recovered quite nicely, no incidents
we had
apart from his own spin. Wybrow is now dropping down the order.
Stephanopoulos had an incident right here.
Whoa, that's a big lunge.
I think he jumped over there. I'm not sure who that was that hit him, but it looks like he jumped over to avoid a slow car in that high lane, if you watch, and he ended up taking him out. Watch right here. Jumped over to avoid that slow car, and right at the same exact time that Stephanopoulos was braking going into turn 1, and he slammed right into the back of him.
Evasive action is always going to be dangerous. You have to stay aware of what's happening around you. Johansson having a little look. I believe that is that's Taylor right behind him, and that's Johansson up to 6th from, I believe that's 21st on the grid.
Yeah, Johansson's up 15 spots already.
It's a very, very good job from Johansson. Of course, taking pole position race 1, finishing, I believe, 5th or 4th in race number 1. Now up to 6th again. Knox still holding on to P1. Weston in the Pro-Ams doing a good job to gain P2 as well. Wolf in the AMs holding on to P3. This is the left-hander, the infamous corner where people lose the rears of the cars. And he still looks like everyone's held it together. This is a nice little train. It's going side by side onto the outer loop. I believe this is the entire middle of the pack.
Yeah, I thought we were jumped up here in the front. I thought we had a little thing there, but they were just braking going into the chicane. There's a huge battle back here with these guys. This is like a 6 or 7 car pack here running together. Oh, somebody just went wide. that Webb?
That is Webb. Webb dropping
there was
down the
else
order.
That went way off track there.
I believe that's Theophanopoulos has dropped down the order now.
Yeah, he's back in
Stationary and down.
Man, he's had another incident already, huh? Well, let's see. He shot straight off the back of the bus stop here. If you watch, oh, he had it sideways and then he massively hit that curb. Oh, that was okay. Who was that in front of him? Is that Miller?
There are quite a few of them in that incident.
Oh, there's people. There's cars everywhere around.
It's big moments everywhere on the screen, and that's a little bit too hot on the throttle as well.
Trying to see who that was he lost it bad when he clipped that curb going into the chicane. I mean, it was the rear end was starting to slide on him and he hit that curb and it launched him. Look at Johansson. This guy, he is up 17 spots already. He's already back up to 4th place.
I'm not sure where Johansson is in the standings overall.
Oh, yeah.
I believe he's not even in the top 3, but he is having a massive showing here at Daytona. You can see him currently in 4th place, as we have Enquist currently chasing down Taylor, who's dropped a few places as well. And this is the AMs and the Pro-Ams fighting as well into the top 5.
There's Jack.
So that is for 4th position. And there's a fight for 1st place going on while Ashton is making his way higher into the top 10, P9, as he goes around the outside, taking a lot of that curb. It looks like Jack's just able to take a lot more curb than all these other drivers and keeping the car stable with it. So look at the speed that he's getting from that.
Yeah,
Knox is having to defend.
I think that, once obviously Jack's a professional, real race car driver too. So I think the secret to those big curves is, you've got to take them straight on. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have the wheel turned at all, or it can get really nasty really fast.
Yeah, it's all about stability, of course. So if you have a little bit too much rotation, the car's going to flick you upwards. You're going to think that you have to correct, get a little bit more steering input, and then you overcorrect, and then you get sideways. And Knox having Weston behind him. I don't think he's expected pressure from one of the Pro-Ams. Weston starting in 3rd. Knox thinking, you finished way behind in race number 1. What are you doing way up here? And by the way, speaking of 3rd, Johansson is up into 3rd place. He's currently up 18 spots from where he started in 21st, and he might be he's looking at the podium now. He's got 4 seconds ahead of him, but he might be looking for the victory if he keeps this up. About 13 and a half minutes remaining. It's going to be quite interesting to see where he's going to finish.
So we had an incident here with Bartlett. Let's see what happened with him.
So this is the run into turn number 1. Is that going to be a loss of the rear? And that is the loss of the rear once again.
They hit him. Nope.
Holding the brakes luckily, and then backing off. Could have gone back a little bit further and just rotated the car to get back out on track. But of course, when you're sideways, you don't really think too much. Patero is trying to get the position off of Medicos. Patero in the Pro class. It's a big jump over the curbs.
Yeah, Medicos that's bound to slow speed down there.
Does have the inside line, which gives him a little bit of an advantage. Holds on to the lower side of the loop.
I'm surprised by that, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to do more speed than that.
Here comes a straight bit where Patero can catch up again.
Well, if that would have been the last lap, would have finished, that would have been, huh?
That would have been insane. Don't think we're going to get that close, as Knox is quite far ahead as it stands of Johansson in second in class. Medicos losing the place there to Patero, who's up 10 places as well, so had a good start. Of course, being down in the bottom half, you can gain a few places a little bit faster. Werner is out, Wolf is out as it stands. Looks like Kinney is in the pits, Castleman is in the pits, and Theophanopoulos is a little bit down.
To Kinney that sent him to the pits. Apparently the bleacher. Well, that's him leaving the. Why does it show?
This is the pit exit.
Okay. He stopped at the end of pit exit. That was voluntary,
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So as Werner out. Kinney is still stationary. Castleman as well. Castleman still in the lead lap. So he should be able to join right back as well and fight for some position. Still as Miller and Theophanopoulos are back out. That's going to be his battle. Johansson currently in third place. The gap was about 4 seconds. It's currently just under 3, so he does have the chance in these final 10 minutes of the race.
Look at Weston.
Maybe gain a few more spots.
Because Weston
going very wide. Weston on the inside does have the position on paper, but does he hold it though? It's quite wide there for Knox. Unsure what happened, if that was a choice or not, but Weston gaining the lead of the race. That's one of the Pro-Ams currently in the lead by overtaking a Pro.
I was shocked. That's what I literally was coming back to say. I was like, look at Weston here running in second place as a Pro-Am, but he's doing just slightly better than that now.
This is overtaken Knox, and that's of course going to slow Knox down as well, because in a battle you're only as fast as the slowest driver. You can't gain a position, or you can't gain the position by just magically being a second faster. You have to gain the position by making your opponent slower, putting the pressure on, and that's exactly what Weston did, I believe. Knox going wide, losing the time. That means Johansson's gap to Knox is now within 2 seconds, and the lead of the race is back inside Johansson. The yellow car in the back of your picture is, that's not Johansson, he's a little bit further back. That is there he is, currently in third place. He is looking for it though. He knows he's got the pace.
There's a lap car in between him and those front two up there.
That might be Miller or Theophanopoulos in the middle of all this. I think it's Theophanopoulos who's right behind all this. Miller is right ahead of them. So Weston and Knox being a lap ahead of them, and Johansson being right behind. Orchin now having a look in his mirrors as Patero is going to chase him down. This is the fight for 9th place overall. Going on to the start-finish straight. Big slipstream here for Tommy Patero as the door is being opened by Orchin. That's a free look there on the inside. So we see Orchin disappear on the right-hand side of the starting line. Now back down into the first turn as our camera angles back to the front, where Patero will be looking at a clean air up 11 places from where he started, currently 9th from 20th on the grid. He's got some clean air about 4 seconds ahead of him now to the next car. That will be Ashton, who's in 8th. And he'll started from last place now up to 7th actually, as he just passes Taylor, holds on to the inside line there, does have Enquist right ahead of him, might make it 2. That's going to be 6th place.
Yeah, he's moving on up as well. He's up 17 spots right now from dead last on the field. I think he's going to slot in here and get a draft coming down the straightaway here.
And then, of course, a big opportunity into the chicane. And the next car up ahead after that is Lessa, who finished right behind Ashton in 2nd place and is up to P5 now. Ashton is going to get sent the long way around, but does brake very, very late. Get everything that he can. And then gains the position there. That's a brave on the brakes from Jack Ashton. Very, very neat job.
That was pretty impressive, I have to say.
It looks like the battle for the lead is back on as Knox has to hold on to Weston, and Weston is on the inside trying to hold P1, but Knox the long way around doesn't stick it quite closely, and there's Johansson trying to see if he can gain both of these places, because he does have the pace already on the inside of Weston as Knox takes the lead, and Johansson getting P2. Opportunistic stuff, leaving Weston behind, and now he can look ahead and into the diffuser of Ian Knox, who's just holding on to P number 1 after he's retaken that from Weston, losing it just a few laps ago. And Johansson now the driver to be able to put the pressure on there through the final hairpin of the infield, on their way to the long left-hander, and Knox just has to hold it now. But Johansson's got a more difficult job because he's got that aero wash from the car ahead, holds it nice and tidy for now, going up to the outer loop, and this is going to be the slipstream of his life. He's going to follow him through onto the bus stop and hopefully have a little look, or maybe put some pressure on Knox and see what he can do under that pressure.
So if you're up here battling for the lead, when it comes to the last lap, do you want to be out front or do you want to be in second place?
I always want to be out front. Oh, that's a big jump there for Knox, and Johansson's got the overspeed, and he's going to go easily past. And that is the overtake done cleanly for Johansson. Weston not able to overtake instantly, but he will have a small look as they're going towards the timing line. The overspeed for Weston being there, it's going to be forced towards the outside. If Knox holds on to this line, Johansson having this lead in 21st on the grid will have to watch out, because Knox will take the inside line. Weston is a little bit deep. Johansson is very deep, goes sweeping around the outside. But there, as they were, a bit squirrely for our yellow McLaren. But of course, the number 5 car holding on to it. That's very neatly corrected from Johansson, with Knox sliding in behind and Weston. And this is a proper fight for the net top 3.
It really is. I was concerned there, man. That rear end started twitching on him. I thought we were going to have something there, but he did a good job there holding on to it.
It was the infamous turn 1, one of the 2 places where we can see the cars lose it very regularly. So it's one of the moments that, I mean, maybe Johansson has had his hands clenched around the steering wheel for a moment, trying to keep the car straight. Does lead Knox and Weston out for these final 5 minutes, 3 laps to go. So they're going towards the chicane with Knox sitting in second place and wanting more. But unfortunately, Johansson just too quick as it stands. The gap a bit too big to give it a send. Johansson.
Come back here real quick. It's not what I thought it was. That's right. Here.
So we're looking at Chech right now and Lessa
right
following behind.
Crazy, the cameras work when you hit the right button.
usually is the case, huh? Chech right now on the inside line. Lost a bit of speed. Lessa trying to go the long way around. We saw before as well, the long way doesn't always work, but when you hit the straight and you have the overspeed, you simply get past quickly. Lessa is trying to showcase that now. They're once again side by side going over the line. Going into turn number 1, Chechere will have the inside line. But I do think Lessa's already passed. Oh, that's a big catch as well. Once again for Lessa. We see them more often, but does hold on to P4. That's up 19 places. So second place finish in race number 1 is going to be P4. Doesn't have the time to jump up to P3 anymore. This is only 3 minutes remaining, 3 laps, including this one. Chechere stalling in behind Scott Ashton in his mirrors, who's up 18 places as well from the lead from race number 1, getting down all the way into last place. We have Pratt with a little off-track excursion, I believe, who's dropped down to 14th place.
Indeed, let's real quick.
It's about 6 seconds, I believe. And our eyes on the yellow car now. It's going to be behind Orchin. That's green, actually, and he loses it.
That was a net code right there, huh?
It's either a net code or a very weird lockup on the rear of the car. As a strange.
If he had his brake bias set wrong, he could have. It could have snapped around on him there when he got on the brakes extra heavy there to try to make that wide sweeper around. That's in theory, that could have happened.
That is a very real possibility, yeah, indeed. Just having the bias just a little bit too far to the rear. And of course, when you brake, the weight being shifted forward, the lift on the rear a little bit too much. Ashton on the outside here on Chechere, trying to take that position away as well. Once again, the same scenario, and Chechere just holding on to the inside line again, this time being a little bit further ahead than he was with the fight with Lessa, but looks like he's going to be losing this. Ashton around the outside. He's going to be looking to brake hard and deep into turn number 1. Does so. Goes very wide, but of course you get some track position there, and Chechere having to hold it in as Ashton was fully alongside, and that's brave from Ashton, trying to put it on the line where Chechere wanted to go.
Did you see how close that car was on the edge right there? I mean, you could see it. It was so on the edge.
I think Ashton really pushed it to the limits there. Chechere having to back out of that one and letting him go. And Ashton going up to 5th place, joining Lessa in the 19 positions gained.
Come back here
Now
real
up
quick.
to
We got
P4 and 5.
swapping spots. We got a little three-way battle back here, it looks like.
This is Orchin with Vanzevicius ahead and Nick Green behind. And Green wanting to make that in front as he takes the inside line into the hairpin and does get the position. Orchin dropping back, and Knox, I think, is losing some time as well. Weston has gone past, and even Lessa has gone past. So Lessa's back up to the podium positions. And Ashton having a little look for himself too. So Knox losing out. That's the gap. Lessa currently the driver that we're viewing.
Well,
quite a big gap behind to Knox.
Look what happened here. We had something go seriously wrong here for Knox.
Once
right
again,
there.
it's Weston on through. There's the slide, and that explains the loss of speed as well, as Ashton is through now, which puts Les onto the podium for net position. Ashton on the podium for the pros, and Ian Knox out of contention for that podium. Chechere now trying to fight him for 5th place overall in the final lap of the race. The checkered flag is going to be dropping in about 15 seconds. Johansson currently in hairpin number 1 in the infield part of the track, so we'll take that checkered flag next time around. Will be the victor of race number 2, starting in 21st, so getting a very nice finishing position in race number 1 and then making it up 20 places up to 1st place to win race number 2. Weston 4 seconds back in 2nd place. It's going to be leading the Pro-Ams and getting that victory in class as well, and a 2nd place overall. Lessa still happy with that 3rd place overall. Ashton just outside of the 2nd. Don't think anything's going to happen there unless we'll have some action at the chicane that Johansson is currently freeloading into. Clean air in front and behind. 4 seconds clear, and Norwegian driver going to be leading everyone over the line. There's only one small part of the track to go. It's a difficult part, of course, the chicane. But it's all straight out after this. Big jumps there over the heightened sausage curbs. Now Johansson on his way to the victory. A hard-fought one at that, starting in 21st. Missing out on the podium for race number 1. Will get the top step this time around over the checkered flag line. Checkered line, checkered flag. Everything's checkered for him as he flashes his headlights in excitement, in celebration. Johansson taking the victory in race number 2 with Weston slotting in behind. Lessa in 3rd, claiming the podium, and Ashton having 3rd place in class as well. Ian Knox getting 5th place, and Chechere following up on Weston on 2nd place for the Pro-Ams. Medicos taking 3rd place in the Pro-Ams. And then Enquist, Parker Enquist from 8th to 7th, gaining a place, winning in the amateur class, with Orchin in 12th, getting 2nd place, and Brereton currently fighting for 15th still. I think that's Webb that's going to be taking the place. Is that going to be holding on to the line? I do believe Webb was ahead at that point. Ahead. So Webb starting in 2nd place, losing a lot of positions at the start from an incident as well, fighting back up to 15th. And Webb and Brereton into the pro class. Webb just barely getting that place. That's 1/100th of a second that he's got there on the positions. Now just waiting for the final drivers to finish their laps. I think that's Wybrow that still has to finish his lap. 18th place currently out of the chicane. And we'll take that as just 4th place, as Bartlett has taken a 3rd place in the class. So Wybrow the final driver to take the checkered flag. But Johansson winning race number 2 after Jack Ashton taking home race number 1, and then 3rd in class for race number 2. That is a extraordinary feat from Jack Ashton to gain 20 places, a shared feat with Lessa and Johansson. So all the pro podiums have gained 20 places. That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
That is funny. All 3 of them are up 20 spots. All right, I think that's...
So that exits race number 2 here at Daytona with the final results for race number 2. Johansson in 1st, Lesson Ashton on the pro podium. Weston taking overall P2 and the win in the Pro-Ams. Chechere and Taylor getting that podium. Enquist splitting those 2 by winning the amateur class, and Orchin in 2nd place. Bartlett in 3rd. So all these drivers once again on the lead lap. And then behind Wybrow, we have Miller, Theophanopoulos, Castleman, Wolf, Kinney, and Werner. And I believe everyone behind was either 1 or more laps down. Of course, Werner losing it quite early on, plus 12 laps. Here we see it. Wolf plus 10, Kinney plus 9, Castleman plus 7, Theophanopoulos plus 6, and then Miller, unfortunately, 1 lap down. But did finish still within the margin, so I believe everyone will get quite a good points haul for the pro drivers. Johansson, Lessa, and Ashton, of course, having the biggest haul of everyone for today. That's quite uncharacteristic for one of these races. Usually you see one of the pros or the AMs holding onto their places, and Weston being the only one to do so in today's race. Knox dropping back, of course, being unfortunate at the start.
Weston did a great job staying up there the whole race. That was quite impressive from a pro-am driver. I mean, again, clearly some of these guys are right on the verge of pro-am. He was obviously very competitive this week. I haven't had the opportunity to see him race over several tracks, but he was certainly competitive there. Do we have an interview room? Do we bring anybody in, or is that?
I think we can.
Do we normally do that? I don't.
Yeah, we can definitely get some interviews going. I think we want to maybe get you want to get them in order. Want to get the race victor from race 1 first, or do we want to speak with Johansson first?
Yeah, let's go third. Let's go third. Well, let's do this. Let's do the race winner in each category. Start with the AM.
Right.
Can you,
all right. So we have
drag them in, or do you need me to do it?
Hold on, I'm trying to find the race results from race number 1 because I don't think I have that. At the moment, we can of course get our race 2 race winners.
Yeah, let's just do the race 2 race winners. That'll be 3 interviews. That'll be good.
That means we'll get Parker Enquist in first. And that is Parker Enquist. Welcome into the commentary booth.
Hello.
There we go. Parker, congratulations on the class win. How's that feel? P7 overall?
After the result of last race, it felt great. Because last race, Le Mans, I had a horrible time, and I just wanted to come back during this race. And I love Daytona, and I guess it showed.
And overall points currently 3rd from the looks of it. And with this victory, you might be bumping up a few bits. Having a 3rd place, I believe you had a 2nd place finish at Imola as well. So used to the podium now.
Yeah, it's weird. I think
I'm looking for the rest of the season. Got 4 races remaining. We're looking for some more podiums.
Gonna try to. Trying to look for the win, but with the bye weeks and stuff like that, don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
So if you look at the calendar, what's the one track that you're looking forward to where you maybe can get one of those other victories on the line?
Oh, I gotta remember what the calendar is.
Well, since you asked, I can bring it up right now. There you go. I don't know if you're watching the broadcast, but next we have Bathurst, which is of course everybody's favorite.
That's gonna be a nightmare. That's gonna be a nightmare.
Then we have Brands Hatch, but rumor has it that it could be a rainy day there, and then Suzuka and Portimao, Algarve.
I would have to say Suzuka just because it's one of those unique tracks.
Well, let's hope that the Suzuka race it's also going to be a night race. So let's hope that you're going to have some nightly luck there in Japan as well, as you did at Daytona here. So congrats on the win, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, that was Parker Enquist, our amateur class winner. We're going to be looking at the Pro-Am winner, which is Thomas Weston. We're going to be dragging him in here, see if we can get a few words from Mr. Weston over here. Thomas Weston, welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I think I should be asking, how are you doing after a P2 finish and a class win?
Yeah, I was pretty pleased with that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's been a while coming. So yeah, the first race wasn't without incident, definitely. But I was really pleased to win the second race, even if it was as the result of Mr. Knox in front of me. Yeah, It was a great race, though. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed, battling with Ian there, and also with Vigard. Vigard was just too quick. I think he pulled out like a second on me in the final lap. But still, yeah, very pleased with that for sure.
Yeah, you were in the lead at some point as well, trying to fight with Ian Knox, who started on pole. What was the fight like? Like, we saw some big moves on the inside. I think it was turn one. I think we have it on the screen here at the moment. Knox went very, very wide, and you went on the inside. What was the thought process behind getting past Knox for the for the lead of the race?
Yeah, well, I could. I was holding it tight around the inside there, and Ian was. It was feeling a little bit slow through the horseshoes, so I thought I had a little bit of pace on Ian. So I thought I'd have a go and see if I could pull out a gap, and I think I did pull out a gap for a bit, and then I think I made a mistake up near the chicane, and he made up probably half a second to do that mistake, and then got past me again. So I quite like the tight line through there. I can make that work quite well. But I know everyone else tends to keep it wide. It's quite an interesting corner from that perspective because you can take so many different lines. I think there was a moment there as well where we were almost three wide going into D1 between Vigard and the enemy there. But yeah.
Yeah, I believe we call that on the screen as well. So great race on your end. We've got a few rounds to go. We're almost halfway through the season. What's the round that you're going to be looking at to maybe have a repeat one of these results?
That's a good question. I'm not sure what the calendar looks like. Although I think the next one is Mount Panorama, which is a track I absolutely love. Whether I'll be strong there or not, I don't know. It's a very difficult track, and this car can be tricky. But yeah, I'm very familiar with that track, so hopefully, I'll be able to do reasonably well there. Although I do think there'll be quite a lot of incidents. Beyond that, I don't know. I might. I also love Suzuka. It's again one of my favourite tracks. So we'll see. Around there, I am usually I can hold my own in terms of pace. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to the final couple of races because they're all tracks that I really, really love to drive. So we'll see how we get on.
Yeah, let's hope we get you back into the booth as well for another class win and overall podium as well. So congrats on the good result, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Olaf. I really hope to talk to you again soon. Yeah, cheers. Take care.
All right, that was our Pro-Am winner, Thomas Weston, and now we get Johansson in. See if we can find him in the chats. Trying to see if we can drag him in. And Mr. Johansson, welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Good afternoon. How was race number one?
Annoying, irritating at myself for trying to be a bit too aggressive on the throttle and spinning out on the second lap. But I think I did well to recover from that.
I think it was P4 in race number one, and then up 20 places, a shared 20 places that Lessa and Ashton also gained, which is your podium for the pro class. And we saw you jump up a lot of places. We saw you fighting through the grid, and every single time I thought this gap is too big to do it. This gap is too big to go for the lead, and then all of a sudden you were just there. So how did that happen? Where did the pace come from?
So big part is that I struggle with focus running alone, but when I have someone to chase, it's easier. And I don't know. I kind of were lucky of just hitting my marks. But also, Daytona is a great track to race. There's you can close big gaps really quickly. So it's I wish I had a better answer for you, but I don't know. It's just happened.
Well, that's sometimes the fast pace doesn't have an explanation. It's just the driver that's behind the wheel. Are we looking at some more victories in the rounds to come? Is there one track that you're looking forward to specifically?
I am looking forward to Bathurst. That I think is gonna be a fun one. I don't know why. I just like Bathurst. It's the tight walls. You have to be precise. but I've gotta step it up then and not be too over aggressive on the throttle out of corners, because I can't have. If I spin, then I crash and die. But that, and of course the fun race. I am really looking forward to see what that is gonna be.
Yeah, that's the fun
And,
thing. I don't know either. That's still to be to be determined. Yeah, that's one of the questions that we had during the race as well. What's the setup like? We saw a lot of drivers into turn one and out of the infield just spin on exit. Is the rear that light? Is it the rake, or what part of the setup makes it so that the car spins so quickly on throttle?
So if you trail brake the car, you have a lot of grip on the front, and the rears are like, since it's a turbo engine, the power hits like a ton of bricks when you go on power. So if you have too much steering angle on, and especially on cold tires, you're gonna spin the rears up instantly, and it catches a lot of people out. I also did the mistake of practicing with the new Daytona fixed that has 4 in TC, while this one has 3, so it's quite low traction control. Yeah, it's just cold tires, turbo car with tons of power is a difficult car to control.
Yeah, we saw that happen numerous times, but luckily you were able to recover. That's a P4 and a P1 finish here at Daytona. So congrats on the victory, and hopefully we'll get to see you again soon in the booth.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
And I think that concludes our interviews for the afternoon. So I think we'll have a little look at the calendar once more to show exactly what is going to happen in the next few rounds. We currently finished at Daytona. Next week out, we have Bathurst, then a little 2-week wait onto Brands Hatch in the rain, Suzuka in the night, Algarve in the hopefully dry and day. And then, of course, the week after, we have a fun race that is going to be announced somewhere soon, maybe, hopefully, that will not participate for the championship, will just be for fun. I think that's going to be the end of our broadcast. I've been Olaf, aka Wops Racing. You can find me on wopsracing.com. You can find more of JP Broadcasting on the YouTube. You can subscribe for other broadcasts. There should be some upcoming already that you can visit and maybe put on the notifications if you're interested in finding some. I've been joined by Jim. Jim, you want to shout out something or someone or yourself before we head off?
Just the stuff we got going on today on the JP Broadcasting. If you're going to stay up and watch some racing coming up, we've got the OGRL GT3 race coming up this week, and then later tonight, as we get into the afternoon and evening over here in the United States, we got the Super Formula Light cars coming up with the IGP Fun League, and followed by the SR4S Super Formula Lights also tonight. So yeah, a lot of action coming up just today alone, and join us. Come stop by, say hello.
So 2 GT races, 2 Formula races. That's bound to be a lot of fun for the day. So thank you all so much for joining us and for watching here at JP Broadcasting. I've been Olaf. I've been joined by Jim, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.